up here on the Pro Wrestling Show, ladies and gentlemen. What Pro Wrestling Show we have for you to talk about the SmackDown Ring Report on our weekend edition here on the Pro Wrestling Show. And we'll have hot topics, man, hot topics. As Andrade, yes, Andrade wants out of WWE. Won't believe why Andrade wants out. Is WWE pushing to get more people to come to WrestleMania during this week for their spectacular card? We'll tell you more as the Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Kendrick Dix here on the weekend edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show, the weekend edition of the SmackDown Ring Report, SmackDown, and we'll have wrestling hot topics as well. Andrade requests his release. We haven't heard from confirmed. WWE has not given his release yet. We'll keep you updated on what's going on for the hot topic. But first thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't not forget to subscribe. Subscribe, Miss Ken. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Thank you all for watching the weekend edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. Let's get to the SmackDown Ring Report. On the SmackDown Ring Report, we kicked off the SmackDown with Daniel Bryan and Edge. Yes, the Rated R Superstar kicked off the show. Brad talking about his WrestleMania moment that he will get, whether he will meet Daniel Bryan or Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. One of these two men, Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan, must compete at Fastlane for the championship to meet Edge, who's going to be the challenger, the WrestleMania challenger, and who will be walking in WrestleMania as Universal Champion. But Daniel Bryan came up and talked to Edge about, yes, he had his moment at Elimination Chamber, but it was a short moment. If you remember, Daniel Bryan won the Elimination Chamber match for the SmackDown side to become the number one contender. And immediately following, he went against Roman Reigns, which that was unfair. Roman knew the advantage. Roman took advantage of a weakened Daniel Bryan while he was competing in that chamber. Didn't look good, but Daniel Bryan gets his moment, his opportunity at Elimination Chamber 1 week from Sunday on Peacock. Yes, Peacock. Not the WWE Network no more. It's Peacock. Peacock, the WWE Network on Peacock. You know how that go. But Daniel Bryan talked about he wanted his WrestleMania moment. He talked about Edge trying to come in and trying to take his moment. And Daniel Bryan knows that he don't have enough given time. And he wants to make the best out of it. And who can blame Daniel Bryan? Who can blame Edge? Both men are yearning to get back on top of the mountain once again. As you recall, Edge has been on top of the mountain with championships, but he wants to come back swinging. As well as Daniel Bryan. Who can forget WrestleMania? Man, it was like just about yesterday, Daniel Bryan won the WWE title at WrestleMania in New Orleans. Who can forget about that? Well, it was respect right there, mutual respect as we thought. But we'll get to that later on, what's going on with Bryan, Roman, and Edge during the contract signing later. Well, the Street Profits. Yeah, the Street Profits was in a tagged up with the Mysterio, Ray, and his son Dominic to go against the team of Alpha Academy and the Dirty Dogs, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Good, decent match from all of them. Montez Ford hit that frog splash and got the win. You can tell Ray hasn't forgot about Otis, what he did to him with that devastating splash. Otis turning heel for the first time. Never thought Otis would turn heel under the guidance, under tutelage of Chad Gable. But we have to wait and see on that. Also, Nia Jax took Reginald out on a shopping spree. And with Shayna Baszler along with Toe, Nia found her new pet project, Reginald. Told him he can buy any suit he want. And it looks like Nia might be in love with Reginald. It might be swimming with Reginald, using Reginald as advantage for Sasha. So the mouse games continue to play. And it's like Reginald became the star over Carmella. We haven't seen Carmella in a while. What's going on with that? Carmella fired her Smalley. Now Reginald is with the women's tag team champions, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. It gets more interesting as we know going forward how this all going to pan out eventually. But we'll have to see and wait. We'll tell you what happened in the tag team match. Also, Seth Rollins might be taking the offer of Murphy. He didn't say, he mumbles the word. Well, Seth Rollins said something to the effect that he'll be watching a close eye in the match between Murphy and Cesaro. He did so in that. Well, Cesaro and Murphy went one-on-one again, the rematch. Good match thing for Cesaro, but he defeated Murphy by disqualification. But at the match, Seth Rollins interfered, and he blindsided Cesaro, attacking Cesaro, leaving Cesaro laying, and then doing the curve stomp on Cesaro. Almost could have cracked Cesaro's skull with the steel chair. So, a lot going on with that. And I don't know if they're going to make a match about that between Seth Rollins and Cesaro. And what does Murphy leading told? Murphy turned heel during his end. He didn't need the Mysterios. It was a waste of space. And I guess WWE kind of realized that. And it kind of backfired on them more ways than one. So, you know how that ended up being and stuff. It's just like you have a storyline when Murphy was going with Leah, but Leah ruined it by taking pictures of her real life boyfriend and not Murphy. So that kind of ruined it right there. So I kind of knew. I'm like, what Leah taking pictures? I said, oh God, Leah just don't want. She just want to be on TV rather than, you know, how they go. Also, Royal Rumble winner for the women, Bianca Bella, teamed up with Sasha Banks. They was on the KO show, and you can tell the delusion, the problem was about to disperse between the two ladies. They couldn't agree on one thing about Reginald, the tag team. Bianca telling Sasha she needs to stay focused, stay attention. Sasha begged to differ, but you know how they go. They argued back and forth. Then they went against the team of Natalya and Tamina. Well, they got distracted again with the women's tag team champions Nia Jackson and Shayna Baszler, and Reginald was back there. Reginald was doing a lot of antics in the match, a lot of shenanigans, leaving on the table, distracting Sasha, even coming in the ring, distracting her, with Bianca Belair getting rolled up by Tamina, losing the match, and Bianca Belair telling Sasha, you need to focus. I think Sasha's trying to focus, but she's still smitten with Reginald, but you know how they go with women sometimes when they get smitten with dudes and they go crazy. But we have to wait and see how this all gonna pan out. When next week we heard that Nia Jax will get a SmackDown Women's title match against Sasha Banks. Will Sasha stay focused in her women's title defense against the irresistible force Nia Jax and one half of the women's tag team champions? We have to wait and see on that. But it's going to be interesting to see. Will Bianca Belair play a factor in that, since Reginald has been playing a factor into the women's tag team match going forward. Also, Intercontinental Champion Big E returned, and Big E at first came out there with crutches and like he was injured and stuff. Next thing you know, he ripped it apart. I just felt that was goofy. I was just like, okay, why would you even have him come out with a neck brace and knee brace and all? It was goofy. It was so goofy. And then when Apollo Crews with this new Algerian accent gave me, that was goofy as well. I'm like, I was telling somebody I called him, I'm like, which is goofier? Big E playing injured or Apollo Crews with his accent? You be the judge. But he was in action and he defeated Sami Zayn to retain the Intercontinental Championship. I didn't know the Intercontinental title was on the line in the beginning. Sami Zayn put up a fight, but the feud was those two. But I'm not knocking them, but I just feel like if they're fighting for the title, let them fight for the title. Don't have these shenanigans going on. It just didn't work. Well, Apollo did attack Big E from behind and leaving Big E. And so maybe at Fastlane, we might get an Intercontinental Championship match. And if it does happen, we'll let you know next week on our Predict the Outcome for Fastlane. Look out for that next week. And saw WWE continue promoting WrestleMania, getting the fans intended. They kept promoting like promote, self-promote. They kept promoting every match, in between matches, in between ads, in between segments. Promote. WrestleMania is back in business. We'll see WrestleMania get back in business. And finally, the contract signing, the highly much anticipated contract signing between Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, to sign their name on the dotted line for their Universal Championship match at Fastlane. Well, we know Edge, beforehand the contract, Edge was talking to Jey Uso about being his own man. Edge wanted to tell Jay, you don't need to walk between Romans. Don't be, looking for Roman to be under his thumb. He be your own man. He did in the beginning, but he had to fall in line like everybody else. He told Edge, mind your business. And then Edge mind his own business. But it got real interesting when Edge and Jey Uso will fight next week. The winner will become the special enforcer for the Bryan and Roman Reigns Fastlane match. It's a done deal. Edge is going to win. That's just, come on, that's common sense. Edge is going to win. He got vested interest in this Universal Championship match. Who he going to meet? Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns. I look at it like this. Hopefully, they turn that match into a triple threat match since Edge and Daniel Bryan has something to vie for, and it makes sense. So, you never know. And then in Tampa, Florida, with all those fans, come on, somebody gonna want to do something. It's the restart button, like they said, WrestleMania is back in business. So we'll see going forward. So it leads with Daniel Bryan and stuff. So that is the SmackDown Ring Report. All right, let's move over to Hot Topics. Wrestling Hot Topics. We got a lot of wrestling hot topics to get to. Let's get started with what's going on right now in wrestling. Right now, WWE star Andrade wants out of WWE. A lot of people saying that he feels that he's not making moves. Andrade was last seen in October, and now Andrade hasn't been drafted to a show. We just don't know the whereabouts of Andrade. They've been pushing Asia Garza a little bit. Andrade wants out. He is the boyfriend of Charlotte Flair, the fiance of Charlotte. Wonder, does she have anything to do, any sort of influence? If you're not happy, get out. So you can tell Andrade is unhappy. He wants to leave WWE. He asked for his release. His release has not been granted. Not yet. We haven't heard the rumors going on right now. But Andrade is unhappy. He wants out of WWE, and he's asking for his release right now. So we had to wait and see going forward what's going on with Andrade. We'll keep you posted this Monday after the Raw, the Pro Wrestling Show. Monday Raw Ring Report will tell you what's going on with that. Hopefully we get more information. Also, WWE wants 45,000 people in attendance for WrestleMania per night. So WrestleMania going to be a 2-night extravaganza. It's going to be, like I said, it's something else, the effect of that. WWE wants to call hotel officials to pack everything for WrestleMania. We have to wait and see on what's going on. But WWE pushing it with WrestleMania. 145,000 people. That's 90,000 people a night. They want that. They want that packed house. Also, AEW pay-per-view Revolution scored a record buy of an excess of $6 million. So a lot of people saying either they saw the return of Sting wrestling, the exploding barbed wire match, or the anticipated person, the mystery person who claimed to be Christian Cage. Well, we don't know. Maybe all three factors played into that. We have to wait and see on that. So that AEW, that Thud, barbed wire, and Kenny Omega and Don Callis, I think they secretly going with each other, doing the 69 minute. Oh my God. But it is what it is. It just was disturbing. The world champion and his manager. I mean, really? Okay. Also, Becky Lynch posted that her dad has passed away. Becky Lynch posted a message that her father had passed away. So we offer our condolences to Becky Lynch and her family at this time on her loss. Also, we heard rumors that Elena Vega may have officially reportedly signed with AEW. Now, we heard that Tony Khan was interested. He didn't know that Selena was up. But now we kind of get an idea. But we'll have to wait and see and find out on what's going on with Zelina Vega at this time. That has she signed with AEW? We have to wait and see that. Also, this is a strange story, but I have to report it. Dark Side of the Ring revealed that Jimmy Snuka had a 10-year marriage to Gino Hernandez's mom. I was like, what in the world? And said Gino Hernandez's mom laid details saying that, this was going on when He was with the Nancy Artina story where Jimmy Snooker's girlfriend got killed by Jimmy Snooker, but they try to make it seem like Jimmy Snooker didn't kill her, but there was a lot going on with that. But I was kind of shocked. I was like, that's new. Jimmy Snooker was stepdad. And then on the top twisted part on it, Jimmy Snooker's mom wanted to marry Gino Hernandez's granddaddy. And I mean, I know that happens with incest, but that's too close to home. And I know that happens in some families, but yeah, I might well say it's pretty close to home to me in a way too. But with someone else, yeah, you got two family members that's not family, but from different families. It's a recipe for disaster. Oh my God. Ugh. So kids do not ever do that. Ugh. Ugh. Also, we heard that John Laurinaitis is back running town relations again. Laurinaitis was the head of town relations way back when, in 2004 to 2011. Now returns to the position. They're saying that he might bring back the Divas era. Please don't do that. We went too far as we're going right now. Why would you want to bring back the Divas title? No, keep that. No, keep that. Where is that? I don't think he cared about Divas title. He just want to bring high pretty faces, women that don't know how to wrestle, and then they get hurt. But like I said, he brought Kelly and Alicia Fox, so that says somebody's track record. Speaking of that, Maria Canales-Bennett made a comment about bring back the Divas title. I'm like, no, you want to progress, not regress. I mean, the Raw Women's title is more stagnant right now than SmackDown Women's title. They will get the Raw Women's title back to prominence when it is with these counterparts, the SmackDown Women's title, because Bianca and Sasha, they're gonna bring it, but they had to have some story and flair to it. I'll tell you that right now. Also, we heard reports too that Molly Holly will be the first inductee into the 2021 Hall of Fame. Told you this past week that the Hall of Fame will be streaming live exclusively on Peacock. So they had the 2020 class that didn't get their just due last year due to the pandemic, and they had the 2021 class as well. So, what you think, Molly Holly, a multi-time women's champion, going to the Hall of Fame, rightfully so? Who went last year? The Bella Twins, and then give up for Victoria Wilson. Like, really, they better put Victoria in there. I'm gonna view this to them. They better pick Victoria, and Victoria was pretty, beautiful, and she was vicious, and she played that role to a T. They need to put Melina in there too, and then they put everybody who made contributions. Not the Diva Search people. Don't put them in there and stuff. No, that cool. Also, they said the Thunderdome might have a new location. They said they might move Thunderdome to the College Center in Tampa, where they might move that. So look for that down the road. They had the Royal Rumble and stuff. Also, Christian Cage spoke with Renee Young, Renee Panek, whatever the hell you want to call herself. And he did detail why he went to AEW, because he felt like WWE, same way like Big Show, they did an interview with Renee Paquette. It felt like their time wasn't gone. They still had enough gas in the tank. It felt like WWE felt like they was old and they was dinosaur. But AEW better keep their eyes keen. They don't need to be like WCW, just hire all these people. Old people. That's because they have a name. You don't want to do that. You want to build on your young roster and have that blend and stuff. But not AEW is. But we'll see. There's been rumors and reports about Drew versus Sheamus. They could have a last man standing match. That's going to happen. Let there be a last man standing match where both, whoever the winner emerge, gets a WWE Championship match against Lashley at WrestleMania. They didn't say nothing about Brock or nothing. But you never know and stuff. Then they're saying Drew could have had a match with John Cena at SummerSlam. That didn't come to fruition. So a lot didn't come to fruition due to this pandemic, but we're coming back stronger and better. All right, that ends Hot Topics. All right, everyone. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. Like I said, Pro Wrestling Show is the home of the Pro Wrestling Hub. Next week, we'll have the Raw report, the NXT and AEW report, and we'll have the weekend edition, but it won't be SmackDown report. It'll be predict the outcome for WWE Fastlane. So, for me being Kitchen Dick saying so long, and y'all have a happy weekend. See you later.